Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're looking at the IWC Ingenieur Automatic Laureus Sport for Good Foundation limited edition of 1,500 pieces. You can see this 40mm limited edition stainless steel IWC on our website. Purchase it there. And if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also click on the card in the upper right hand corner of this video at any time to see our complete listing for this watch with additional photographs, high resolution images, and of course complete pricing information. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can get a sense why the Ingenieur Automatic might be the perfect IWC sports watch. It's the one that hews closest to the core tenets of a sporty professional style watch. Versatile, hardy, well built. This is the watch that gives the likes of Rolex and Omega the closest run for their money in the IWC catalog because it competes head-to-head on so many levels. Now first, the watch is 40mm across the round of the case. That's a little bit hard to gauge because you can see between the crown guards and the crown, as well as the cushion form of the watch with its broad lugs, it's really hard to find any portion that is round to take that 40mm measurement. It wears closer to a 42, truthfully. Now it is incredibly thin, only 10mm thanks to an exceptionally thin ETA 2892A2 based movement modified by IWC with a double-stepped case flank and bezel. You can see how a thin watch becomes even thinner, effectively slipping right under a dress cuff or tight sleeve. Now, from lug to lug, there are a couple of different ways to measure this watch, so let's talk about the most basic. First and foremost, if you did want to measure this watch lug to lug and you're sticking only to portions of the case itself, it would measure approximately 50.5mm from that rigid outcropping. You can see it abutting the bezel, to its opposite number on the other side. But the watch does have a little bit of virtual flair because the bracelet, which conforms, doesn't want to wrap down immediately around the tight curvature of a smaller wrist, which is to say it has a little bit of outward arc on both sides. Now if you were to measure the outermost extremity of those arcing bracelet links, you would come up with a much larger lug-to-lug span of 54mm lug-to-lug. So the watch does wear broad even if it wears very flat. It is an incredible combination of case and bracelet, however. The watch is reminiscent of Gerald Genta's Jumbo Ingenieur, or the Ingenieur SL of the late 1970s. It was the third in his trilogy that started with the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, continued with the Patek Philippe Nautilus of 1976, and then segued almost immediately into the Ingenieur SL. And you can see the integration of case and bracelet is much like those two high horology references. It's seamless. It reads all of a piece, almost more like a bracelet itself than a watch with a bracelet. So that arcing form tapers beautifully down the minimally stepped links. There is a taper that you can see. It is very hard to feel it with the fingers. That's how tight the tolerances are. Now I'm going to try to show to advantage the double finish on the bracelet. It's animated by a combination of principally brushed surfaces with a few accents of polished bevel, and you can see how they really do stand out when light hits them. Now this is part of the modular bracelet series that IWC has developed, so you can see how each individual center link has a small depression, and that dimple allows you to effectively unlock the bar that holds each link together so you can take it apart completely for ultra precise micro sizing to any wrist, or if you prefer, simply dismantle it for exceptionally in-depth cleaning. Now the watch does have a single fold deployant clasp. It is twin trigger actuated, so it does take a positive input to open it. It can't pop open, it's not friction fit, and it doesn't have the sometimes cumbersome clamshell. Now it's beautifully finished like the rest of the watch, and it has one of the most intricate release mechanisms I have ever seen. Schaffhausen is known for its engineering, and you can see how that release mechanism works in conjunction with the twin triggers. This is not a dainty piece. Incredibly intricate, but also amazingly robust and well engineered. It's designed so that you really do have to press both triggers at once to pop open the bracelet. And that's reassuring, considering the value of the watch at stake. It's a watch that has, yes, monetary value, but more than that, artistic and aesthetic value that really sets it apart. Now the combination of the brushed and polished case and bezel is beautiful, and in conjunction with the Laureus Sport for Good Foundation signature blue dial with its layers, its textures, and its beautifully hand-applied and polished luminescent indices, it has incredible impact. For a fraction of the cost, this descendant of the Gerald Genta original still goes head-to-head with the best from Patek Philippe and Audemars Piguet from a purely aesthetic standpoint. No, it's not finished quite to the same artisanal levels of virtuosity, but you're getting a great deal of the same artistic inspiration in as much as it springs from the same man behind the other two. And the mind of that man created an absolute masterpiece. It looks as good today as it did in the late 1970s. Everything from the signature bolted style bezel to the multi-layered dial to that gorgeous cushion style case. The watch has robust crown guards with a screw-down crown. It does have 120-meter water resistance, so this is a true snorkeling, swimming, and light diving watch. The watch also has a soft, anti-magnetic inner core because it is an Ingenieur, after all, part of the professional watch family that IWC has produced since the mid-1950s. Now, this example, being the Laureus Sport for Good Foundation limited edition, features the artwork created by a child within the Laureus Foundation's programs. The child won the contest in 2014, and this limited edition of 1500 was issued with the caseback artwork for the 2015 model year. And underneath that caseback, there is an IWC 30110 automatic caliber. It's based on the ETA 2892, and it is supremely tough, wonderfully thin, and assists the case profile in that respect, and features all the underlying virtues of a thin and tough ETA movement, including hacking seconds, so you pull the crown, you stop the balance, stop the seconds hand, and now you can synchronize precisely to a known accurate reference clock. It has smooth bidirectional winding, so it doesn't have the rotor wobble that you get in some unidirectional winders, and yes, there is a quick set for the date, in case the watch should run down or you simply reach an irregular month. This is a versatile, beautiful, exclusive, and iconic timepiece. It's the kind of look that's sustained the test of time already. There are many oversized, some might say overwrought references in the IWC catalog today. If you want a watch that is timeless, look no farther. You can see this watch and you can purchase it on our website.